I'm Matthew Kelly. Welcome back to Radical and Relevant, where each day we explore the genius of the gospel. Today's reading is from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12. We've been making our way through Luke 12 for a couple of days now. Luke chapter 12, verses 39 through 48. But know this, that if the householder had known at what hour the thief was coming, he would have been awake and would not have left his house to be broken into. You also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Peter said, Lord, are you telling this parable for us or for all? And Jesus said to them, Who then is the faithful and wise steward, whom his master will set over his household to give them their portion of food at the proper time? Blessed is the servant whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing. Truly, I tell you, he will set him over all his possessions. But if that servant says to him, My master is delayed in coming, and begins to beat the manservants and the maidservants, and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour that he does not know, and will punish him, and will put him with the unfaithful. And that servant, who knew his master's will, but did not make ready or act according to his will, shall receive a severe beating. But he who did not know and did not deserve a beating shall receive a light beating. Everyone of whom much is given, of him will much be required. And of him to whom men commit much, they will demand the more. What jumps out at you today? There's a lot there. Be a little confusing in parts. You may want to go back and reread this on the website today. You know, we have the readings there every day for the Mass. And this one, there is a lot there, but there are a few things that jump out at me. There are words that the gospel uses over and over that we can become sort of immune to, but really are worth thinking about. You know, Jesus here is using the word faithful, unfaithful, is using the word steward, you know, and we're all stewards. And we are all faithful and unfaithful stewards. And sometimes, you know, we're faithful stewards of all that God has entrusted us to, and sometimes we're neglectful. We get distracted, and we're not great stewards at that time. And so to ask ourselves today, okay, am I a good steward of the gifts that God has given me? Am I a good steward of the life that God has given me? Am I being faithful to what God is calling me to at this time in my life? So that's a couple of things that jump out at me. Found it interesting, the master will set the person over all his possessions, over his whole kingdom, if the servant is faithful. And of course, we've got the servant who is beating the manservants, beating the maidservants, eating and drinking and getting drunk, you know, and it's doesn't need to be literal. We can behave in all sorts of ways that represent the spirit of that, and those ways take us away from God's mission for us. Those ways distract us from what God is calling us to. Sometimes we think about, okay, well, what God calling me to? I don't know what God is calling me to. Well, that is true and untrue. You know, Jesus was asked, which is the greatest commandment? Love the Lord your God with your whole heart, mind, soul. Love your neighbor as yourself. Are we loving wholeheartedly? That is the will of God. What is God calling you to? He's calling you to love wholeheartedly today. So let's get out there, love wholeheartedly, and think more specifically, what is God calling you to do today? Let's do it faithfully. Let's be faithful stewards. Have a great day. And remember, be bold, be Catholic.